Good afternoon. Thank you all so much for coming. We are here to celebrate the life of a very wonderful woman. Miss Lisa Licht was an incredible person, one of a kind, and based on my view, looking at this here, it's very evident. So, students, I know that you were each touched by Miss Licht. She loved each and every one of you, and I know this was an important part of saying goodbye and celebrating her today. Thank you all so much for coming. We have many speakers. There is a program that is going to be altered slightly, so bear with us. But thank you all so much for coming. Specifically, thank you to her family who was able to join us today. So thank you all. I will turn this over to the madrigals. At this time, I would like to invite Mrs. Monchak to the podium. She will be reading a story, Only One You.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
It's time, Papa said. I think it is, Mama agreed. Time for what? Adri asked. Papa's voice softened to share some wisdom. Always be on the lookout for a new friend. Look for beauty wherever you are and keep the memory of it with you. Blend in when you need to, stand out when you have the chance. Find your way, you don't have to follow the crowd. Know when to speak and know when to listen. No matter how you look at it, there is so much to discover. If you make a wrong turn, circle back. If something gets in your way, move around it. Set aside some quiet time to relax and reflect every day. Appreciate art, it's all around you. Make wishes on the stars in the nighttime sky. Thank you for listening, Mama said. We hope you will remember. Papa winked and whispered, we know this is a lot for you to think about. Adri did a backward somersault and smiled. He was excited to go out into the world with what he had just learned. Wait for me, he shouted to his friends. Before he swam away, he turned back to his parents and said, I will remember. Mama kissed Adri on top of his head. There's only one you in this great big world. Make it a better place.
This is the part of our program where things change a bit. I would like to invite Mrs. Bond to the podium as well. Mrs. Bond is a title teacher who will have something very special to share, leading us into the Students Have a Song.
Anyone fortunate enough to have worked with, known, or loved Miss Licht knows she brightened our world. We knew that Licht, L-I-C-H-T, means light, L-I-G-H-T. We didn't have to look it up in the dictionary. We learned it from her life and from her example. If we had read the definition, we would have found that Licht, light, is a noun, an adjective, and a verb, just like our Miss Licht. Her light continues to shine. A special lamppost will be installed and dedicated to Miss Licht at the new elementary school that they just broke ground for a couple hours ago. Literally, her light will keep shining. But she will shine in us too. As we join together in singing this little light of mine, listen for this verse. I'm going to take this light around the world. I'm going to let it shine. Let's remember to be a light that we won't let anybody blow out. Her light will shine brighter as it shines in us. Please sing with us.
Take this light around.
And now I'd like to welcome Miss Amy Yates to the stage as she will be reading a poem.
Good afternoon. Those of you that have programs, it is on the back of the program. I first wanted to just say that I did have the privilege of working with Lisa for 17 years in the classroom. Then she was my instructional coach, assistant principal, and principal, and last but not least, the best of all, she was a dear friend, as she was to most of us that are out here right now celebrating her life. Lisa had a very special place in all of our hearts, regardless if you were here 2 months, 6 months, 2 years, 10 years, 17 years. No amount of time mattered when it came to Lisa. So I would like to read this poem that definitely conveys a message that I think everybody sitting here can relate to. The poem is titled, An Eternal Memory Until We Meet Again. Those special memories of you will always bring a smile. If only we could have you back for just a little while. Then we could sit and talk again, just like we used to do. You always meant so very much, and always will do too. The fact that you are no longer here will always cause us pain, but you are forever in our hearts until we meet again. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, now I'd like to welcome Miss Linda Simon, our assistant principal, and Mrs. Jeannie Bradley. If you could come on up.
Mr. Licht can come too if he wants. Yeah.
Yay, here he comes, Mr. Bradley. Good choice.
I've got it. Okay. Thank you. Before we do our presentation of the sign, my first graders listening, if you went to kindergarten here, would you raise your hand? It's okay, it's good. Keep your hands up. Second graders, if you went to school here since kindergarten, raise your hand. Third graders, if you went to school here since kindergarten, raise your hand. Fourth graders, if you went to school here. And how many fifth graders do I have? A handful. So you remember, have great memories of Miss Licht. How many people in Madrigal went to Franklin? There we go. Do we have any staff members that went to school in Elyria? Let's see, there we go. Look at all those staff members. We're Elyria strong. The Rainbow Garden is about hope and determination. The Bradleys came to Miss Licht and asked, why don't we have a garden? And she replied, I don't know, why not? It was her hope and determination that gave everybody else hope and determination. And so the garden began. And when it began, Sterling got sick, and Tim McGill pitched in and helped build the structures. Many volunteers came and helped out. Many of our students came and helped out. It wouldn't be ready today if we didn't have many, many students this week pitching in, moving mulch and moving dirt. Because Lisa always, always, always led us to believe that we could do things that we didn't think were possible. Can I ask Sophia Villafane to come up, please? Sophia? A girl, it's a girl, yeah, it's a girl. Sophia designed the banner for the Rainbow Garden, and she is yet another example of hope and determination. She's an example of the bridge that Miss Licht built for success for her students and to the future. Let's give her a big round of applause. Good job, sweetie. Congratulations.
Your artwork is
Good job. It's going to live forever. Introduce Tim, you want to? Yes. Thank you.
You want to set it right in front?
Sure, yeah, that'd be awesome. Our next presenter is Tim Brown, Elyria High School principal.
Thank you. Hi, guys. I'm Mr. Brown. I'm the high school principal here in Elyria, and I'm so proud of our high schoolers that are here singing for you. I want to take them back to when they were your age. When they were in elementary school, I would have been a principal maybe at one of their buildings. And at that time, that's when one of my friends was Miss Licht as another principal. And as many times you do as friends, you have nicknames or fun things you call each other rather than your name. And my name for Miss Licht was Peaches, and her nick for me was Honey. And one of the things we would argue about was whether people liked peaches better or honey better. Wow. Today, everybody likes peaches the best. So one of the things I want to share for you guys, one of the ways we decided as principals to help you out was to create a scholarship. So when you finish high school and you're ready to go on to college, there is a $500 scholarship that will be available for students that went to Franklin Elementary School to win in Miss Licht's honor. And I'm proud to introduce this year's winner of the first one, and this scholarship will be available for 13 years, but I want to introduce to you senior Diamond Brown, who's over there in the Madrigals. There she stands. And we want to thank her, and we want to thank Stephen Licht, Miss Licht's son, who graduated from Elyria High School this year, as well as the staff from Franklin and the high school that get together to decide who is going to be that recipient. So I can't think of a better individual, someone to be more proud of. Diamond's an honors student that went through Franklin. She was also selected by the seniors to be the senior class speaker this year at graduation. So we hope one day that's going to be somebody sitting right here today. Thank you.
I would now like to welcome Mr. Brubaker from the Board of Education here to do the mayor's proclamation.
Good afternoon. I get the privilege of being here to represent the Elyria Board of Education, as well as Mayor Brenda's office. Mayor Brenda sends her regrets. She is out of town today. But she did put together a proclamation in honor of Miss Licht, and it reads as this. Office of the Mayor, Proclamation, City of Elyria. Whereas Lisa Item Licht, mother, sister, friend, and beloved educator, who spent her entire life guiding the children of Elyria, Ohio, was a cherished leader within our community. And her loss will be mourned and her life celebrated during a ceremony at Franklin Elementary School in Elyria, Ohio on Friday, June 8, 2018. And whereas Lisa Item Licht was born to loving parents, Kathleen and Bernard Item, and spent more than 20 years guiding the youth of the Elyria students in the public education system, beginning her career as an intervention specialist before moving into administration, where she would help set policies that mold our children into leaders of tomorrow, first at Roosevelt and eventually becoming a universally beloved principal at Franklin Elementary School. And whereas Lisa Item Licht embraced the love of her family and returned it tenfold, acting as proud mother to her son Stephen and to her sister Thomas, as well as her loving partner Tim McGill for nearly 10 years. And whereas Lisa Item Licht dedicated her life enriching the lives of children and helping to build a community to nurture their development, serving not only as an educator and principal, but also cared deeply, both personally and professionally, for her staff and employees, and led by example in her constant endeavor to help everyone be the best person they could be. And whereas Lisa Item Licht was an irreplaceable force of good, bringing with her each day an unstoppable passion, positive attitude, and to serve as solace to us all, that her underlying drive to help others and make the world a better place has successfully been passed on to generations of Elyria's children. Now, therefore, I, Holly C. Brenda, Mayor of the City of Elyria, do hereby recognize and celebrate the extraordinary life of Lisa Item Licht, and know that while she may be gone, she will never be forgotten. Signed, Holly C. Brenda, Mayor, City of Elyria.
I would now like to welcome Ms. Ann Schloss, Associate Superintendent, with a presentation.
Good afternoon. It's obvious how much all of us loved Lisa, and she played many roles in the district, and we've heard about all of them: colleague, friend, supervisor, advocate for her children. She would, as much as she would love this, she would not want to be the center of attention. I think about once a month I had a meeting where all the principals came together, and Miss Licht only cared about two things. Did she beat Dr. Dibby to the meeting? And that's for you, Jack. And number two, how long am I going to be here? I have to get back to my kids. So that says a lot about the principal Lisa was, and more so the person. But I will tell you, her favorite role was that of mother, daughter, brother, I hope I get this right, niece, cousin, and great friend in Chris. She spoke about you often. So we wanted to do something from the district to honor that. And I'll start with Stephen, would you come up here for a sec? So when employees retire from the district, they get a bell that says Elyria City School District Lisa Licht, you made a difference, and we engraved it, "Our kids are worth whatever it takes, Franklin Elementary, 2018. So we wanted you to have that. Take this with you. Hold on. And also, some of the staff had some special days that we wanted to give you some money to buy books, something you're supposed to buy at college. We'll talk about the other things later, yeah. So we hope you're successful, and we know you're going to do great at University of Toledo, and just know how proud she was of you. All right. Now, the other people that she talked about a lot was her brother Tom and her mom and dad. Very often. I remember in January when I think Mom got ill, and she called me and says, "I might be taking off." And then, well, I might be taking off. It was a couple of days in a row, and I know how much she cared about you and wanted to be with you. So we have a little token for each of you. Yeah, those are the other two, Mr. and Mrs. In Elyria, we've started a new tradition, the Apple of our Eye Award, and they're usually red, but these are golden apples, and they say Elyria City School District, Lisa Licht, Apple of our Eye. Our kids are worth whatever it takes, Franklin Elementary, and we wanted you to have one. So we have one for each of you.
Thank you all so much for coming. It was extremely important to, I know, Ms. Licht's family and each one of us, that everybody was here. Thank you so much for being here to help us celebrate what an amazing person Lisa truly was to each one of us. We are going to conclude our program with the Madrigals have a song that they are going to sing. At the conclusion of that song, students will do their bubble release. Once that is done, we will head back inside to head to dismissal, and Mr. Stephen Licht is going to go ahead and join the Madrigals, as he was in choir for 3 years, so he is going to join his classmates.
Wait,